Ham Radio 2.0 Sunday night live stream. Thanks, guys, for being here early. We're going to get started here in just 1 minute.
Ham Radio Prep is the fastest and most effective program to study for your ham radio license. Our complete multimedia course makes it easy to pass the ham radio license test, even if you're a beginner. Study at your own pace with 10 step-by-step lessons that are simple to understand and cover all of the official FCC questions. Take our course and you'll pass the exam on your first try or your money back, guaranteed. Begin your journey to becoming a licensed ham radio operator.
All right, there it is. Hey, guys, happy Sunday. Those guys in Zoom are loud. Wow. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining the channel today. Special thanks to the YouTube channel members here tonight. Ed, AC3IK is in the house. Andy Cowley's here. Christiana's here. So special thanks to you guys for being YouTube channel members and supporting the channel. Appreciate that. So we're going to talk about... I know a lot of you were in the QSO Today Ham Expo that ended earlier today. Well, they ended the presentations earlier today. They're going to have replays of those presentations for the next 30 days, so you can go back and catch any presentations you didn't catch live today. And the Kumospace is going to stay open for a while, too. It's still open right now. There's nobody in there. There's nobody in our room right now. I think there was somebody in the Flex Radio room when I was in there about an hour ago. But they're going to leave that open for a little bit, and so you guys go check that out if you didn't get a chance to look at that. So that was a fun event, and we're going to welcome Charlie and Pat and Dan onto the channel tonight to talk about summits on the air and parks on the air. Let me make a couple of quick announcements first. First of all, we're still supporting the Lee family. Hopefully most of you are following James Lee on Facebook. Michelle is posting updates to James's Facebook page. So the link to that is there. We've raised just over $15,000. We had Ash. It was the Ash Narukar. I know I'm saying that wrong. Was the last one to donate 3 days ago. So donations have slowed down. I haven't talked about this in a couple weeks. I kind of wanted it to. I didn't want to make it seem like I was pushing it too heavily, but they still need help. James is doing better. I saw some pictures of him sitting up in his chair doing some kind of task in the hospital room the other day. So I think it's still kind of touch and go in some regard, but he is doing better. He's on the mend, although I think it's just going slowly. So Frank's going to share that link in the chat. He just did. There it is right there. So thanks to all of you who helped out with that over the last couple months that we've been doing that. So a week from today, we're going to give away 2 QRP radios. Here's one of them right here. This is a FX4C QRP radio that is really cool. Comes with it comes in this carrying case. It's kind of sweet there. It comes with a microphone, a power cable, and a USB connection. It's got a built-in sound card, so you can do FT8 with it straight out of the box. So we're going to give one of those away. We're going to give one of the true SDX radios that I did the group buy for. Thank you to those of you who got in on that. Those 50 kits they reserved for us. I said this on the happy hour the other night, and I don't know if everybody was there. So those 50 kits they reserved for us were sold out in 2 hours on Friday. They had some problems with their website. It was supposed to go live at 9 a.m. my time on Friday, which was UTC, 1500 UTC. It was then, before the time changed. And they had some problems with the website, and it took like 30 minutes to an hour for the website to get fixed by noon. So by 9:45 or 10 a.m., it was live. By noon, they had sold all of the 50 kits that they had reserved just for this audience right here. So I traded emails with those guys. Later that afternoon, we were driving back from Galveston that day, and they said, "Hey, do you want to do this again in 3 to 4 weeks?" I said, "Sure, yeah," because I've already had people email me that afternoon about it, asking, "Say, man, I didn't get notification quick enough. I didn't know it was going to happen that day. And I was like, hey guys, I got the email, but it was too late. So we're going to do it again. And it's going to be fun to do. So y'all be watching for that. I will announce that on my Friday shopping video, but also send it out to my regular email list too. So check that out. Next weekend, I'll be in Huntsville, Alabama to record the HamSci event for the annual workshop that they do, which is themed The Weather Connection. So if you enjoy ham radio science, space weather science, that kind of stuff that's way over my head, it's going to be a fun event at the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, next weekend, Friday and Saturday. I'm leaving here on Wednesday, going to drive out, set up on Thursday, record the event Friday and Saturday, and then I'm going to go hit up Montana and do some POTA stuff. So that's going to be fun to do as well. So that's the Parks on the Air information. I was just looking up the POTA website right there just for the heck of it. So let's go ahead and bring everybody on here. Change my headset around. Hopefully Frank's got all his stuff out of his system by now, but we'll see. We'll see if that's true. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
Howdy.
Good. Very good.
Howdy,
Good.
man. Howdy.
So Pat and Frank did a POTA today, and Charlie, did you go climb a mountain before you were in the?
No, we did our stuff on Friday. Yeah.
On Friday, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's good enough, I guess.
So you say play POTA. Let me share this picture.
Okay, yeah, go
I
ahead.
was POTAing from the actual park.
Yeah. Hold on, let me pin that so everybody can see it. That's funny.
There it is.
So yeah,
I was literally playing POTA.
literally playing POTA today. That's good. Awesome. Well, there you go. That's how Frank does it, I guess. But we had a good. I think we had a really good time in the QSO Today Ham Expo. There was several people in there. I was in there for a little bit yesterday morning, and I was in there this afternoon for a bit. We got to talk to Julian. I've never talked to Julian face to face before. Granted, we're virtual face to face, but that's closer than I've ever got. Steve WG0AT.
WGO080, yeah. Steve,
So Steve was in there. Goat Steve was in there. He's he was pretty fun to listen to him, and then several other guys were in there too. So I had fun with that. It was a good turnout in the room, I think, and really enjoyed that. So Charlie, what did you think about it? Because you were kind of in charge of setting up the SOTA side of the room. So we had the room that you logged in with the Kumospace, and down at the bottom left, we had a SOTA lounge with couches, whatnot. Everybody went over there and talked about summits on the air. So Charlie, tell us how that went.
Well, I think it went as well as expected, actually better than expected. So this was the first year we've done this where we've decided to kind of schedule a few people to come in and be available, and then just kind of see what happened. And I think what happened was there was a mass gathering of all kinds of people, and we just shoot the breeze. It was like being at an actual ham fest, standing around a water cooler. It was amazing. Like you said, we were able to talk to Julian. He popped in.
Yeah.
And when he was in there, we had a lot of people listening and just hanging around. But there was more. I mean, I enjoyed our short conversation with Vince. Vince was in there.
Yeah.
VEKLK. He talked about CW paddles, and he came in to see you. He's from the Ham Radio Workbench. And we also had Anthony in there, K8ZT. This guy does a lot of presentations, and he's QRP, pretty much everything. QRP, worked all states, worked all counties, DXCC. I mean, this guy's amazing. And like you said, some of the others, and Kyle was in there. It's just, it was just a really fun time. And I hope we do it again. I really do, because it was successful, I think.
I agree. And, they've tried, I think this is the third type of software they've tried for like virtual meetings or video conference type software, and this has by far been the best performing one. I wasn't sure how it was going to do with the load balancing, because when everybody joins at one time, it works great when there's like 3 of us on there, but when everybody joins at one time, it can get kind of twitchy sometimes. I didn't really notice any problems in the time I was in there. I thought it worked well. I thought people were in there, they were talking, they were able to listen to what they wanted to listen to. And Julian actually had a presentation he did about, I think, was it about portable radio? I didn't catch any of the presentations. I was just busy all weekend. That portable radio. So if you have a ticket to the expo, you can go back and watch that if you missed it. So what was your did you field a lot of questions in there? about
Yeah.
SOTA, or was it just people just talking about their experiences with SOTA?
No, we did. In fact, it was almost at some points we were given a presentation. Dan was here, and actually Pat may have been there too at the same time when we had some people come in and they were like, "What's SOTA? And how do you get involved?" And so
Yeah.
I was pulling up some screenshots of the SOTA site, and we were it was really almost a presentation right there. Yeah.
Good. Well, good. That's good. I mean, that's kind of what I was going for when you said, "Hey, I want to do a SOTA thing," and I'm like, "That's awesome," because that's a ability to answer questions for people who are going to ask. And that's what I was wanting to do with the POTA side of it too. And I'm gonna let Pat talk about that in a second. So I'm glad it worked out, man, because every time we've done like a live meetup around this area where we say, "Hey, come out and POTA with us," we always end up getting at least one new person on POTA that had never done it before. And then that's all. It's like the gateway drug to go getting your general license. So it's everybody loves that. Well, cool, man. I think it worked out well, and I appreciate you taking the time to be there. In the room as much as you were, and I know a lot of people. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on it, so I think you guys did really well.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for letting us be there. It was a great opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So Dan, I don't think I've met you before, just today, I guess. But you were with Charlie in the SOTA room. So what'd you think?
I thought it went off really, really well. We talked to, several people who were, new to SOTA or new to POTA. So we kind of talked a little bit about both over there as well.
Good.
And it was a lot of fun to, hopefully ignite a little bit of interest for some folks. And it was nice to talk about some folks' experiences, some folks that had only been out once or twice. And it was interesting to hear their experiences and issues that they had, and being able to talk about those and give them some pointers about some of our experiences and going forward for them. Hopefully that helps them out a little bit.
Good. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, it was, I was in there, then one guy was asking, if you climb up a mountain, are you more likely to is it okay to use just 5 watts, and how likely are you to activate it? And I'm like, yeah, that's actually a very good question. For those of us down here in the flatlands that don't do much with QRP, that's the 2 times I've done a summit. I've done 2 summits in my life, and both of them have been QRP with, actually, that's not true. The second one was 100 watts, but the first one was QRP.
Well, what's the answer to that question? Are you likely to activate it, or
QRP is great. My experience, I said so during the other shows, were that I used to haul my 857 and run 75 watts, and then I bought a KX3, and now I run 5 or 10 watts and somewhere in that range, and I get just as many contacts, whether it's the West Coast or all the way to the East Coast. So it's all about the antenna and the rig mostly.
Yeah. It's definitely fun. It's fun to do QRP, but it's not as fast. Has been my experience. It's been my experience. It's not as fast, but that's okay. There is a challenge aspect of it that you don't get when you're running 100 watts, and that's really fun to do as well. So, well, thanks to both of you being here. Gonna talk to Pat for a second about the POTA side, and then we're just kind of answer questions in the chat. Anybody in the chat that has a question, if you just type the word question, it highlights it for me on this new plugin I'm using. So feel free to ask any type of SOTA or POTA questions you want to. But
and I'm also looking for any questions in the chat, and I will be asking them as the conversation rolls.
Cool. Thanks, Frank. All right, Pat, what's going on, man? How are you?
I am doing well. Just woke up from a little nap. Doing some POTA knocked me out, man. We get those pileups and just going, and then you're tired.
Yeah.
Time to go home.
Yeah, I hear you there. Yeah, especially if you're out in the sun, it can be draining too for me.
Oh yeah, I was in the car because I thought it was gonna be too cold, and the sun was beating down on me the whole time. And I was like, oh,
yeah, for sure.
Terrible.
So, what kind of questions, what kind of information and chatting did you do in the booth for QSO Today about Parks on the Air specifically?
Yeah, we had people from all over the world, actually. We had a few folks from Europe asking about it too. And some people have just done hunting, wanted to know more about the activating side. I find that to be kind of common because Like, you know, what kind of rig should I use? What kind of power supplies, antennas, all that kind of stuff. And some people just had questions about the program in general, because believe it or not, there's still people who haven't heard about it. So,
oh yeah, no, yeah, that's totally.
Yeah. So yeah, I answered a bunch of questions about that, told them about my experiences, told them what, you know, it's just a ton of fun doing POTA, because it's like one of the few activities you can do is like a US based ham where you're gonna get a pile up just for activating for somewhere near you, you know, because like most times you call CQ, you're gonna be waiting. If you call CQ POTA, now 50 people all of a sudden want to talk to you. So it's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. If you've never worked a pilot before, let me tell you, it's an adrenaline rush.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, I tell people the funnest I've been a ham for 20. Let me see if I can count. 28 years. It'll be 28 years in July. I've been a ham for 28 years in July, and the funnest I've ever had in ham radio, period, was the first time I ever went to Costa Rica and worked a pileup. It was nonstop. I sat there all day and worked pileups all day, and POTA is the closest I've ever gotten back to that after being while being inside of the United States. And it's definitely an adrenaline rush, and you realize real quick if the radio you're using has a good front end or not, and when you start to work those pileups. So
yeah.
But that's good. Well, thanks for being in the room. Thanks for being in the as a participant and a moderator in the YouTubers Bunch room for Kumospace. I know there was a lot of people that it was Charlie's idea to open the little section down there for SOTA. And then when we were talking about on the live stream, on one of my Wednesday live streams last week or 2 weeks ago, I think it was, someone, it might've been even you, Pat, who said something, are you going to do one for POTA? I'm like, if someone wants to do one for POTA, let's set it up. And then 2 or 3 of you guys hit me up on Discord after that. So I'm like, okay, good. Yeah. Let's make that happen too, because that's a popular topic. So I'm glad that we did all of that. So thanks for being in there once again.
No problem. I enjoyed it.
Good. So what's the overall experience? I mean, like did you guys get to leave out of the room at all? Go watch any presentation? Anybody? That's a question for anybody. Did y'all get to experience other rooms? And what did you do that was somewhere outside of our YouTubers Bunch space?
Yeah. So I want to just real quick say thank you to Kyle, Alpha 0Z, and to Bo, who you probably know, KH7FC, and to Dan, AI6XG, and Jesse from Canada, who has a great YouTube channel, VE6JTW. They all came in and kind of, we spread it out a little bit, and we were in that space, that SOTA space, for a while, and we had a lot of coverage, so at least there was one person there for a good portion of the time. So that worked out well. I wanted to make sure that they knew that they were appreciated. I would say that I went to the ham radio workspace area and was able to. They were there almost the whole time, and I was able to participate a little bit in some conversations there in the ham radio workspace. It was a lot of fun.
Workbench. Yeah.
Yes.
Ham radio workbench. They got a great podcast. So yeah, good.
And then I also I only was able to catch one presentation, but it was a good one. It was on SOTA. But I spent almost all of my free time that I had available in the Kumos space. So, but what I did, and I'm gonna go back and watch these videos now. I got a month.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got plenty of time to do it. So Tony's asking, what's the latest rig you've used for SOTA? K6RK Adam has taken some big setups to SOTA, and he wants to know, he says he'll be doing it with his Kenwood TS 570D once it arrives. 570D, that's a big rig if I remember which one that is. That's like desktop rig, I think, if I'm remembering that number correctly. But so what's the latest rig you guys have taken up a mountain? Both Dan and Charlie, go ahead with that.
What, Dan?
Mine would be the KX3. That's my go-to radio still right now. I'm hopefully going to be decent enough to on CW here. I got a QCX Mini, a 40 meter that I want to try out. I've listened to it several times and sent a couple CW little contact things out, but that's my next one.
And then I have my most recent was this Friday. I took out the Shigu X6100.
Okay.
And it's the loaner from Radiodity. And
yes.
So we did sideband. I haven't done CW yet. We we just did sideband, and so I'm going to be taking that out for my next several activations and doing some reviews and my take on it. So
what did you think initially? I mean, you don't have to give away anything that you want to put in the video, but what did you think initially with doing sideband with it?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, I'll put it in the video and tell you. And
okay, all right.
So we were on a summit that had some radio towers, and wouldn't you know, there was some intermod, some front end overload. And so that wasn't very happy. We weren't very happy about that. The other thing that we noticed, there were high winds and it was cold, and we had a hard time listening with the speaker that was provided. It's the speaker is not so good. Yeah. So those are our initial thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I activated a POTA with that radio just last week, and I've got a video that I'll be posting soon. But yeah, that's, I didn't like the display because it has a beautiful display, but in direct sunlight, it's very hard to see. It's a very shiny glass on the display, so it makes it very hard to see in direct sunlight. Very reflective glass. I thought that was not great. And yeah, the speaker was, I thought the speaker was really loud the first time I got it, but you take it out onto the beach with the ocean behind you and the waves coming in and the wind. And yeah, I was noticing the same thing with the speaker. Now I activated the park. It did what it was supposed to do, but it was a little bit more challenging than I expected it to be. Yeah. So I hear what you're saying there.
Now, let me just mention, just so that I'm not negative Nilly on this. I do like that has an internal tuner. And we used that, and it was great. Mm-hmm. The filtering is good. And what else was it that? External battery, 10 watts. With sideband, that extra 5 watts makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm. So I appreciated having that.
Absolutely, yeah. I used the external battery, the BioNO for sideband, for 10 watts on sideband as well. So I don't blame you there. Okay, so Tony was he was clarifying. I thought he said the latest. So either I misread that or he mistyped it. It's possible I misread it. He said, "What's the largest radio you've ever taken out for SOTA?"
Yeah, 857.
857. Yeah.
I've taken out the 897, which I use as my base station. It's right behind me. You can see it back in there. But I've never packed one up a hill because I've only taken that on a drive up.
Yeah. Yeah, we were using Adam's 891. Was it 8? No, it was an 857 he had.
857
at that drive up in Sierra Nevada last when was that? September, October, whenever that was. Yeah. But that was a drive up also. We drove up to the top with the radio towers up there as well and had some intermod. It wasn't too bad, but we did have some. So good. Okay. All right. So yeah, a 570 is a big radio from what I recall. I'm gonna have to go look that one up, but
it's not unheard of, though. I mean, you use what you have, right? And if if you're training and trying to get in better shape, then the more you pack, then the better it is, I guess.
That's true. Yeah. Adam's always wanting to. He's gonna have a drone delivery on a summit one day, just because he doesn't want to carry anything up there. So I can see him doing that. So anyway, all right. So Michael's like, tried my first POTA today, KO4 PDI. Have a 705 and a go-to HOA antenna. Yep, 10 watts with solar. Nobody heard me. Also, once I was spotted and set up on POTA website, someone would step on me.
I think his question got cut off there.
Yeah, it must have. Okay.
If you get stepped on, especially in POTA, some of the days, today was where we kept getting people approaching. At some point, man, you just let the frequency go up 10 or another 5 and start calling CQ again and respot yourself. Because everyone will move for you. They'll move and just keep at it. Especially if you get stepped on, it's going to happen. I bet they're not doing it maliciously. It's just they can't hear you, and you're just in they're in your skip zone. Nothing you can do about it.
But let me say, there is unfortunately a group of folks out there who do enjoy stepping on POTA activators.
Yes,
unfortunately, there is a very small minority of very lonely men who enjoy stepping on POTA activators. So
don't give them attention on the radio.
Don't give them any attention. Just
they will try to hit you up
a tuner over you
times, and after
they start trying to use a tuner over you, like just keep going because they'll stop eventually.
They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he can't hear me," and then
Yeah.
they'll go away.
I just act like I can't hear him. I just keep calling CQ POTA CQ. Now I always check and see if the frequency's in use.
Well, that's good amateur radio etiquette.
Right. But but you didn't say that, Frank. I just wanted to clarify what you were saying. I knew what you meant. But I was just saying that. But I did one. I activated Galveston Island State Park about 4 or 5 times in the past 2 weeks because we were down there for a while. And one of the times I was activating, I said, is the frequency in use? No. And I made 2 or 3 contacts, and then one guy came on and he said, hey, there's a guy in Louisiana, and I couldn't hear him. There's a guy in Louisiana on your same frequency calling CQ POTA. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, he goes, so I'm going to work you, and then I'm going to try to work him. I said, God, that's fine. I said, I'll move then. And I did. I moved. It was fine after that. But yeah, sometimes if you're too close to somebody, depending on what band you're on, it's hard.
Be good hams. Be a good ham neighbor.
There,
and
that's
then
true.
Move your frequency, and then just start calling CQ again. I guarantee you, the people hunting will follow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of my general practice myself. Is if I don't get anything after 10 minutes, I'll either change bands or change frequencies. So whatever you can do.
Yeah.
You know, every 10 minutes you don't get a contact, try changing band, changing frequencies, or at the last resort, change mode. So if you know CW, great, do that. You'll definitely get a contact or two.
Yeah.
If you can do FT8, you'll definitely make an activation that way as well.
Oh, talking about activating some POTA. Today, I got Spain.
Did you on what band were you guys on?
20.
Okay. I got Spain on 20. I got Spain on 20 from Galveston last week.
Nice.
And
I'm not trying to rub it in, but I got 4 Spain stations over here, Tank. So
where are you,
Patrick? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Hit the button.
Click.
I got 2 finished stations yesterday for the first time. So
I got when I was in Galveston. Now, see, the cool thing about doing it from Galveston is because, like I said a minute ago, I am at 0 feet above sea level. I am on the water. Okay, so and it makes a difference. It does. Now I'm next to salt water, so that helps also. So I'm kind of cheating and I'm handicapped at the same time. But the last time I activated, I got Spain, Mexico. I get Canadian stations all the time. That wasn't. I mean, those are. It's cool to work those guys, but it's not that unusual. I got Alaska, and which is more unusual than Canada, believe it or not, from down here. And I got 2 stations from the Dominican Republic as a Hotel India 8 station.
Too.
Yeah. And they've been out there quite a bit hunting. I think I've worked them more than once. So so that was fun to activate. And
that's
when we were
pretty impressive since it's sideband. That's good.
Yeah. When we were on set, now here's the thing. When we went out, Mike and I and Ryan and a couple other guys went out and activated a week ago today on Sunday on the weekend and was ARRL single sideband contest that weekend. So I'm like, okay, let's just use 17 meters because it's a work band. You can't contest on it. POTA is not a contest. Let's just get on 17 meters and stuff. And the DX on 17 was easier, I'll use that term loosely, than it was on 20 in my opinion. I heard a lot more DX on 17 than on 20. So I thought that helped a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
RF Field Tech
20 meters has been amazing.
Yeah, 20 meters has been really good. Yeah, and I'll tell you about FT8 in a second. But go ahead, Frank.
RF Field Tech said 10 meters the other day was very hopping for 2 hours, and
I was seeing spots for that.
Yeah. Then I saw something else. I'll ask that question later. I saw you in there, Ed. I'll bring that up at the end. Go ahead. Talk about FTA.
So when we were in Sierra Nevada, Frank and Charlie and I and several other guys were in Sierra Nevada I think it was in September last year. What's the name of that? What's the name of that park we were at, Charlie? Do you remember? I can't remember the.
Is it?
You're not talking Yosemite?
No, not Yosemite. Where we were camping.
Oh
no, we were camped. Humboldt something.
Humboldt
Toyabe. Something like that. Humboldt Toyabe Tidy or something like that. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, we were camped on the side of a mountain, and I used the 705 to call CQ POTA. It was in a POTA park, but I think it was also a summit, or maybe it was too low to be the summit. I don't remember.
It was in the summit.
Well, okay. So I called CQ POTA a bunch for my 705. Could not make a contact at all. Just could not make a didn't have a 100-watt rig with me at the time, but I plugged in. I find out, well, you know what? Let's just do CQ POTA from FT8. And I think I got like, over the course of like 2 days, I think I got like 60 or 70 contacts on FT8 where I couldn't make any on sideband. So that was fun to do. I was like, okay, I got some digital on my POTA log now. That's fun to have.
We were also running 40 meters FT8. We were running on voice on 20 and then 40 FT8. And we weren't hearing any bleed over from the FT8 station, which was interesting. The antennas were very on top of each other.
Really? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. That's, hey, if it worked for you, that's all that counts, I guess. Yeah. David says that 12 meters is open in Alabama. That's fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
I want to do a 12-meter activation. I haven't done that yet, but I tried one time and the band wasn't open 2 or 3 weeks ago. But do you guys mostly hang out when you're on the summit, Charlie and Dan? Do you guys mostly hang out on 20 and 40? That's what the most popular POTA bands are. But do you ever do anything? I mean, if you're doing CW most of the time, do you ever do any 30?
I mostly hang out on 20 and 40, but I've been hearing a lot of that 10's open. So I really want to try 10 because there's a lot of, technicians and stuff that has, rights on 10. So it'd be fun to get them in the groove on HF, and hopefully that'll inspire them to get their general or above and enjoy some of these activities.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah.
For me, it depends. I mean, when I first got into Summits on the Air, it was 20 and 40 and a little bit of 30. But as the sun cycle dipped, I rarely was rarely on 40, and I did 20, 30, and 60. And the reason is because that pretty much covered the whole area. 60 was NVIS, and I was able to get the local guys in Phoenix and in Arizona, and then 30 usually kind of got Colorado and further out, and then 20 was for even further out. The sun cycle's coming back up now, and I've not been on 60 in a while or 30 in a while. I'm trying the higher frequency bands. I've been making, I had a Japan on 15 meters recently. So I'm trying to see, because you got to follow the MUF, the maximum usable frequency, if you want to get that DX. And I'm always trying to get the DX. So I try to be where that is.
That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. I, believe it or not, up until here just recently, I've actually had more POTA activations on 40 than I had on 20. I think that's changed now. But I used to use the heck out of 40 on even like during the day. I mean, I could spot myself and call CQ POTA on 40 meters at like 2:00 in the afternoon and be working stations from all over the place. So mostly not much DX, if any at all. But I could find pileups inside the United States and definitely activate a park easily.
Yeah, especially on 40 when I'd be up on the summit until from like 7 till about 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
a lot of activity on 40, especially coming out of California, Nevada, Texas, Colorado, and stuff. And for quite a while here in Arizona, I was really successful on 40 meters.
Good. Yeah.
I like to bring up a point here.
Okay.
Both in SOTA and POTA, you don't have to go to these parks to get in and start getting your own points. Both of them award points for hunting.
Yeah.
POTA is a little bit more forgiving. If for your hunting logs, you don't have to turn them in. But if you're hunting the SOTA activators, you got to turn in your logs. Is that correct, Charlie, or is that changed?
Yeah, and it's chasing for SOTA, hunting for POTA, and there's no match in SOTA, by the way. So for POTA, you have to the logs, they go on the logs of the activator. For SOTA, if I chase somebody, it doesn't matter whether or not they put the log in. If I feel like I've got them, I put it in, I get the points. Yeah.
Okay.
But both ways. Go ahead. We also need the other side to be out there. Getting out there, get your radios out there. Great. That is awesome. It's fun. It's amazing. But we also need that other half. I don't want to play down that other half, the hunting or chasing, because if you're not there answering our CQs, then we're not going to go to the parks anymore. So if you just have a station at home and you only have a couple of minutes, go ahead, turn on that station and see who's activating and make a couple of contacts real fast.
And I just second that. I've been in communication with somebody, actually several people, who have said recently that they have been busy with family. They can't get out on a summit, and they've just been focusing on chasing or hunting, and have really been enjoying it. And you can really participate that way too, for sure.
Totally.
I just wanted to harp on that. It's that's another part of this game, man. Is to get those hunters out there.
Well, I had Vance on the channel from the Parks in the Air group a while back, and he said his goal this year was to hunt at least one station every day this year. And I'm like, you go for that. Go ahead. And I've worked him like twice from 2 different activations where I was like, N3VEM, hey man, what's going on? I was like, your first contact today? He goes, nah, got a couple others before you. I was like, all right, that's fine. So it's cool. He's out there all the time now, so that's kind of fun.
That's a worthy goal.
Shout out to Ham Radio Adventure Guy. He's on track to activate a park every day this year.
Holy cow. Really? Even during Hamcation?
Yeah, because he went down there for the whole month and just activated Florida parks the whole month.
Well, I know that, but during Hamcation, I thought he was at the show all day those 2 or 3 days.
He would go after the show.
He would go after the show. Wow.
Yeah, and then go activate a park. Yeah, he's still on track to do a park every day.
That's amazing.
He's really an adventure guy. So
yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. So K6YYL says, just literally got home from POTA 3568, Silver Strand State Beach. Got 3 Spain on 17, New Zealand, Hawaii, Alaska, Puerto Rico on 15, etc. Almost 175 contacts in 2 UTC days. So that's
awesome.
That's good.
What's UTC days? Is that a regular day, but UTC time?
No, it's split between UTC is like for here in Arizona, UTC 00 is if you work on both sides of it. Oh, you're laughing.
He's being frank, Charlie.
Frank.
You gotta know.
It's Central Time. Central. Yeah. There's no UTC time.
Oh, that's
there's UTC. No, there's UTC. Yeah, and now we're all screwed up because we're in -5 here now because of daylight savings time. We're normally -6.
Speaking of that, you'd think in Arizona we don't do daylight savings.
You guys don't do it, do you?
No.
So,
right. But it's worse because now we're in Arizona time and we still have to figure out what the rest of you goofballs are on.
So are you on Mountain Time out there?
We moved from we're always Mountain Standard Time. So when you guys moved to daylight, we're still Mountain Standard. So we moved to California time.
Gosh.
And I work Eastern time, so now I get to lose an extra hour tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless we all go at the same time.
Right. I knew that Arizona didn't do daylight savings time, and that it seems like, hey, yeah, that's a great idea, but then you realize that everybody around you is doing it, so it's like, so it's really strange. Yeah.
I never know what time it is anymore.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
That's what UTC is good for Universal Time Constant. So, good deal.
You mean Central Time?
No,
Texas time.
I mean UTC.
Texas time.
I mean UTC.
Tank, man, embarrassing.
I know.
And I'm an IT guy.
Yeah,
but I don't have to look at server logs, so that's probably why I'm still a little biased. Michael has a question.
Yeah.
Have you used the Buddy Stick
Deluxe
antenna for QRP, and what are your thoughts?
I have not used. I have a Buddy Stick. It's a Buddy Pole Deluxe, is what he's talking about. I think. So there's a Buddy Stick and a Buddy Stick Pro and a Buddy Pole Deluxe. So I assume he's talking about now the Hex Beam too. So I'm assuming he's talking about the Buddy Pole Deluxe, the horizontal dipole, which I have used that quite a bit. It's been a while, but I've never used it for QRP. So I don't know if any of you QRP guys have done that.
Probably I only have the Buddy Stick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Buddy Stick.
Well, I like the Buddy Stick.
Mm-hmm. The Buddy Stick Pro
on 80 somehow. I don't know how I did it, but
well, that's I mean, if it tunes, then it tunes. The Buddy Stick Pro will handle up to 250 watts PEP, so you can do 200 watt sideband on it pretty easily. But I've never used any of those antennas for QRP myself.
No, I don't think they're efficient enough. I don't know a lot about the antenna, but my understanding is they're not efficient enough to do 5 watts. You lose too much.
Yeah, I've used my Buddy Stick with 100 watts and 20 watts, and I can tell there's a difference. I can tell there's actually like a difference using the lower power. So you definitely want to put a little bit of kick into them.
For me, anything with small parts, if I take anything with small parts onto a summit, I'll never find them again.
That's a good
Amen
point.
to that.
Yeah.
When you go up to summits, do you more likely to carry an end-fed antenna over another type of dipole just because it's one radial? You don't have to worry about setting up the other counterpoise or other type systems?
I tell you what, in my experience, which is not much, but if you want to pack light, end-fed half wave was where it's at. Not just in the pack 10, but just, I mean, there's several of them out there.
So end-fed half wave is definitely about the same efficiency as a link dipole. I'm not going on 7 years now, and I think of the 7 years until I started experimenting more with antennas, it was always a link dipole. End-fed half wave, I'm just as happy using. I think I can get better. The link dipole is basically it's an inverted V, and most of the time on the summits I can get in a central spot and go like this. But end-fed half wave is really good for kind of a sloper if you're off to one side, and so it depends on the profile, but either one of them will be worked just fine.
Yeah,
Well,
I've had a lot of good luck with that pack 10 and a couple of homemade end-fed half waves that I've used, and I think it's a really cool design.
Well, my experience with POTA is Adam driving us up to the summit in his truck, and then we can set up whatever we want.
True. Yep.
Yeah,
That's how you
unfortunately,
POTA.
some summits are pretty small, so you got to kind of take that into consideration. But either one of those work fine in my book. So I'm generally using link dipoles more than anything.
Have you thrown the antenna off the side of the cliff and just started transmitting?
I
never have. I've seen where people have done it,
but I've had the antenna only 6 to 10 feet off the ground, not really high, but just very low because the wind would blow it away otherwise. So I've had it really low to the ground before. It's still make contacts. I wanted to mention real quick, it was on my mind, Summits on the Air originally, when it first started, was not an HF program. It was VHF, 2 meter VHF. And that's and if you think about it, when you're on the top of a mountain, you really can make some good contacts. And so we often do VHF only contacts for Summits on the Air. I'm not sure that would work so well on POTA. But like just this Friday, when my wife and I went out, we went up on top of a summit, so cold and windy. We're like, we're not setting anything up. We're going to get out the handhelds. We're going to get our 4 contacts. We actually got 7 and called it good. So,
yeah, I get the question a lot. It seems like recently, for whatever reason, I've gotten the question several times about whether you can do VHF, UHF on POTA. And in fact, my wife asked me that one time. She's like, do you have to use HF? And I said, no, you don't have to use HF. You can use any mode, any band you want, any mode you want, as long as it doesn't go through a repeater. So you can do it with D-Star and DMR too, as long as it's simplex. But the problem is that there's just not as many people out there listening to VHF, like 2 meter sideband or 2 meter FM simplex. Now,
actually,
you get up on and that's gonna vary by region. Yeah. I understand that. You try
if
that
like
here.
In a city, if you're in a city, you can actually probably do it. Like DC, I get sometimes I'll get 2 or 3 VHF contacts because they'll see me activate and they'll call me on 2 meters and be like, hey, can I work you real quick? Like, yep, what's up?
Yeah. I've had little to no luck doing that in this area, even next to the city. Like we can go out to Cedar Hill State Park and call CQ POTA on 2 meter 146.52 simplex, and I might make 1 contact, maybe. So sadly, that's true.
What about 2 meter single sideband? And can you? I've never tried this on the POTA site, but can you look at a given area for VHF type single sideband contacts? I know Charlie's done a few single sideband on VHF, so I'm kind of wondering if you can sort that by contacts on the POTA site.
You can sort. You can you can go to the POTA site and sort by band. I mean, you can like say just show them everybody who's on 2 meters right now. So yeah, you can do that if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
And you can sort by mode. If you just want to do FT8, you can sort it by mode and it'll show you all the bands with where people are doing FT8 or CW. You can do CW with that way too. So yeah, the new POTA.app website has a lot of upgraded capabilities that they just added to it a few months ago. So you can do a lot of that kind of stuff now.
So I have a question here.
Okay.
Have you tried the My2Go antenna? I think it was David. I'm sorry I didn't get the name when I copied it out. Living in a HOA, loving mine, and will take it to my first SOTA and second POTA very soon.
So I've tried that antenna. I think it's a good antenna. You have to remember it is made for an HOA. And he gives you two, I think, grounding rods, the 4-foot grounding rod. So if the bag that he wraps it up in, that when you buy it, it comes kind of in one of those roll-up tool bag type things. It's heavy. It's heavy, very heavy. So I wouldn't recommend it for a SOTA necessarily. POTA is probably fine because you can drive out to the POTA. But just remember, I mean, if you want to lug it up a hill, then do it. It's going to work great for you, I think. But it's made for an HOA situation. It's not really made to be portable as much as some other antennas are.
I was just looking at it, and there's not much to that antenna. It looks like it just sits 4 feet off the ground.
It's just really heavy with the grounding rods that he sells with it. What is that, Charlie?
This is the antenna I use sometimes. This is compared to whatever he's talking about. Yeah. I mean, this is ounces, and this, I mean, DX with this and 5 watts. So I mean, choose. Do you want to take all that, or do you want to take something like this? Right. I would say this, right?
Yep. Yeah, man. I mean, again, use what you have, but yes, for sure. If you there's a Buddy Stick Pro, and that right there. So
everyone's pulling out their antennas. I got my 2-meter tape measure right there.
You're so proud of that, aren't you?
Yes.
Good job.
You do a satellite
I saw you build
with that from tank?
Not yet.
Yeah, you got any satellites
I
yet?
should have tried that today.
Should have tried it today.
About that.
Yeah.
Giving you video ideas.
Yes. So, satellites do count for SOTA and POTA, do they?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, they do.
One accepted type of repeater.
Okay. I am thinking about taking my old mobile radio and using that. I need to look into it though. I think it has a built-in duplexer.
You know who to ask about that?
Who?
Look up N2 NWK. Dell. He does a lot of satellite work apparently with POTA.
N2WK?
N2 NWK. He does a lot of satellite work with POTA. I haven't really talked to him about it because I'm doing more on the HF side, but yeah, I've actually seen him out at the park with his little satellite rig before.
Oh, he has a little rig for his radio that he holds it on his chest. I'm just looking at his QRZ page.
I've seen those.
He can tune the radio like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a picture at the National Mall. Yeah. Done. Should have done that. I feel so bad now.
Mike says, I man-packed my step IR and 40-foot tower for my SOTA. Ha.
Way to go, Mike.
Way to go, buddy. Yeah.
I'm having a good laugh here with K6YYL. She said some neighborhood kids were playing pirate ship with her antenna. If she would have known, she would have turned it on.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, cool. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of I think the reason that we had so many people in the booth this weekend was because SOTA and POTA are both two of the things in ham radio that make it fun, and it's very active. It's very active in the world of amateur radio today, and I like both of them. I mean, I don't know that I really care about one more than the other. I do more POTA because out here in the flatlands, there's some SOTAs out here, but I have to drive about an hour, maybe hour 15 minutes to get to the nearest SOTA, and my nearest POTA is still 30 minutes away, so it's not like it's right down the road. But there's more POTA spots around here, and less SOTA spots. But I really had a lot of fun when we went to Sierra Nevada last September, and then Pacifico with Josh, 2019, I think that was. So Charlie, is there a summit where we're going in July, or is that just a park?
Oh yeah, there are.
Okay.
In fact, my wife has asked me several times, "Have you got anybody talking to you about canceling because of the gas prices?" And I'm like, "I hope not." But
no.
But yeah. So where we're camping at, it's the camp. There's a campground in the Grand Canyon, and it's a 20-minute drive from that spot to a drive-up SOTA spot.
Okay.
So we'll have an opportunity to do both when we're just kind of hanging around and it's very close. And then one of the days we're going to do like a big loop and go around into Flagstaff and all that. And all along the way, there's POTA and SOTA we're going to be able to hit.
Ooh, that's fun. RF Field Tech asks, what constitutes as a SOTA?
Well, I wonder if I could just is there screen sharing allowed?
Yeah, you can. I can turn it on. Sure.
Let me just bring it up here real quick.
You're more familiar with that site than I am, so I could bring it up, but you go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah. Share. Let's see. Did I do that right? It's disabled, it says. Let me try one more time.
I think I got it. Go ahead.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Co-host, check.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. It's kind of weird how this works, but you can see that then, right? So these are all pins globally, right? So these constitute Summits on the Air sites. And so if you zoom in, you'll be able to see. I'm going to zoom into where's he from by chance? The guy asked the question.
RF Field Tech.
He's in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere in the
Texas.
Texas
So
coast.
So you only got the green, which are just 2 pointers, but you'll go in here and you'll see the pin. It's been activated 0 times, and this constitutes a summit. If you don't have a pin on the summit, then it's not a qualifying summit.
What makes that as a summit? What things you has to achieve to get the summit status?
It depends on elevation. It's a list of Johns, but it also has to do with let me stop sharing. It has to do with the prominence between that summit and anything around it, any other summit around it. There has to be at least 150 meters. If I remember right, I gotta brush up on my SOTA again, but there's a specific height difference that you have to have. So like if you have a ridge, for example, and you have like 3 little bumps, not all of them are summits because most of the time they're not far enough in distance apart from each other to constitute a summit. And so,
I didn't realize that.
So it just depends on that, and also on elevation. And then they get all those together, and each state, well, it's actually each association, but it's usually a state. They band those, and they're banded differently. Like for example, in New Zealand, it's those it's the same rules, but they're spread out further. So a 10-pointer in New Zealand is way harder than a 10-pointer in Arizona because we have our summits aren't as high as theirs. Our highest is 10,600 feet, Mount Humphreys, and so our banding is like this wide, and so we bell curve it like this. But like New Zealand is like they have huge summits, and so they're stacked further apart. So there's a couple things that go into it, but
so at the Grand Canyon with that sheer drop, is the whole canyon edge counted as a summit, or do you have to go inside the canyon to get it counted?
So that place we're going to be doing, it's called Grandview Benchmark. It's pretty much the only SOTA site within miles because of this rule. Yeah. So there isn't anything. There's nothing down in the canyon, but there are a bunch of all around the canyon. There's these huge hoodoo spikes and stuff like that, and they're all summits because they're you don't have that difference, right?
Was that the SOTA.uk site you were just showing, Charlie? People are asking for a link in that.
It's SOTLess. SOTL.
SOTL.
Let me see if I can put it in there for you.
You can. You have mod rights on the channel, Charlie. You should be able to post a link. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I hadn't seen that one before myself.
Either.
I'm just definitely gonna bookmark that one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
that site is really very easy to use, and
Yeah.
it's got a lot of great information.
If you don't mind, let me share something else real quick on that.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
So in addition to this, so say for example, you want to zoom in. Let me just zoom in here to Arizona, and I'll just pick a summit that I know has been done. Probably this one here, maybe. Yes. You click on it, and you get like the route that somebody's done before in the blue there.
Mm-hmm.
And you get like how many times it's been activated. This is 201 times that Mount Lemmon has been activated, and because it's a drive up. And if I click on that and I go more, then it'll show you all these stats. These are the routes to get there. Here's some pictures and there's videos. And then this is all the people that have activated, the stats per band, activations. You got all kinds of stuff in here. It's very statistically heavy.
And then you get to the maps at the top. I saw the link just said maps.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good. I had not seen that site before. I've always just used the regular SOTA.uk site, but that's a pretty cool website.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the new one.
Yeah. The reason that one that you pulled up in Texas, you said it's been activated 0 times. What I have found is that a lot of these summits, since it's just done via mathematical equation, really, they're on private property.
Yep.
So it's not where you can just, oh, hey, let's go out there today, so you have to find out who owns the property and get permission from them. And sometimes they'll let you do that. But a lot of those ones that are not activated is because either A, we can't figure out who owns it, or B, the guy, he don't want us out there, which is fine. It's his property, so that's okay. But
respect that.
That's true. And they made a decision, an executive decision, I guess, the managers of the SOTA organization, they felt like it was better to leave all of this mathematical summits there, whether they're eligible, whether you can actually legally activate them or not. And that was they just felt it was better to do that. So there are a lot of summits, especially on Arizona, that are illegal to do. They're eligible summits, except for the fact that they're on Native American land, and you have to have a permit, or you have to go with somebody who lives on the land in order to do it. So there's that in addition to the private property.
Interesting. That would be an interesting activation if you could get a permit or something to go do that. I think that would be really fun.
It would be.
You do we could do a video on it and give a short story about the history of the place and the whatever
that's one of my
Native
ideas.
American tribe was there. That'd be cool.
Yep. There's also a very popular one that's never been activated in Arizona that's on a military installation. So you'd have to have a general come with you or something. I don't know.
Okay. I'm a general, but it's probably not the one the kind of general they're looking for. So, Frank, that's okay. Frank, it's okay that I stole your idea. You can go ahead and do it, and then I'll just do it correctly. So,
that's how it works.
So.
You're going to apple my idea.
That's
Charlie,
right. That's right.
Isn't that one also in the middle of a bombing range, Charlie?
Not the one I was thinking of, but yeah, there is one like that too.
Nice. Yeah, people are raving about that website, Charlie. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. The guy that made it is just did it on the side, and it's really good.
Good. Well, thanks, Tom. Thanks for being here, buddy. So cool. Well, we've been going for an hour, and I think it's been a great chat. Once again, thanks to everybody who joined us in the Kumospace. Had a really fun time in there, and I think the software, like I said in the beginning, I think the software worked very well. The Kumospace software worked very well. Much better than the one they did. The one they did last time was fine. The one they did 2 sessions ago was the one that bombed, and they had it just broke, and it couldn't handle the load of users connecting all at the same time. But they fixed that the last time and used a different software last time, and it worked pretty well. But I think the Kumospace was even better. It was really a big win in my opinion about how that conferencing software worked this time. So I thought it did a really good job.
Yeah, me too. And I didn't know that they did this every 6 months. I thought it was just once a year.
So when Eric was on, yes, they've done it every 6 months, March and August since 2020, really, since the lockdown started, since COVID was a thing. But when Eric was on the show last week, he said that they're probably going to change that. And this will probably be the last March one they do. So they're going to do it again in August of this year. So we can do the same thing again if you want to, Charlie.
Sure, yeah.
And then next March they're going to do some sort of he's putting together some sort of QSO Today Academy. So I didn't get exact, and I don't think he's got all the details ironed out yet, but it's kind of like, from what I understand, it was like basically just like a bunch of presentations without all the extra stuff around it.
Yeah,
so
but it's membership space. I know more about it because
okay,
I'll be involved in it. But it's any of his former guests will be considered experts or SMEs, subject matter experts.
Yeah,
and will be available to answer questions and will and to be mentors basically. Okay. And that's done through so it'll be done through a membership subscription, and so that's probably what it's going to be for sure.
Okay. So yeah, I think after this one, he's going to do August of this year, and then it'll just be August. The actual QSO Today Ham Expo, as we saw this weekend, will just happen in August. That was the latest word I heard from him. Maybe he'll change his mind. I don't know. I think he's probably getting. If I was him, I'd be like, man, this is just too much work to do every 6 months. It's
an incredible undertaking for sure.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
So a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Dennis asked from Facebook. I added him, but I don't know if it will get that response. The website we were talking about for SOTA is SOTL.AS. That's Sierra Oscar Tango Lima Alpha Sierra. Mm-hmm. Then Ed asked kind of at the beginning of the show, but I should have asked this when we were talking about plans. Are you still trying to figure is the K001 still in your sights this year?
I don't know. Yeah, the Ham Radio Adventure guys, I want to set that up kind of through them. Mm-hmm. I would like it to be okay. So here's the thing. I didn't want to go up there when the weather was too cold. Mm-hmm. And the main reason I didn't want to do that is because I didn't want us to get stuck on icy roads, either in the park or trying to get to the park or something like that. I thought, okay, we'll go where the weather's warmer. Well, I thought, okay, and I was looking at my own calendar. I thought, well, maybe July or August or something like that might work. And now people are telling me that it's totally jam-packed in that park during the summer, so it's better to go in like the fall. Mm-hmm. So right now, I don't have anything planned for this year. I would like to try to do it in the fall, but in reality, it might be next spring before we do it. Maybe like March, April of next year, or something about a year from now. I don't know. The other thing is, we don't necessarily have to stay in the park. We could stay somewhere close by and drive into the park since it's a POTA. We just have to be in the park. Mm-hmm. So, because people were talking about, well, we could camp in the park, but we could, if the park's full or something, if we can get a day pass, we don't necessarily have to camp there. So there's a couple of variables we're looking at that way. Don't have anything hammered out yet, but I need to get that on the calendar so that I can tell people this is when we're doing it. So make plans accordingly. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it in a short notice situation. I don't want to say, okay, we're going to go out there in 3 weeks, guys. Everybody buy your plane tickets now. I don't want to do that. I want to put it far enough out ahead so people can plan.
I like that idea. RF Field Tech also asked, we should plan more as a statement. We should plan a trip to Fredericksburg in October for Oktoberfest. And I really like this one, and that's why I read it out.
Fredericksburg, Texas?
Fredericksburg, Texas for Oktoberfest.
Oh, yes.
I've been there. I've been there.
I've been there once too. That's a neat place. I kept telling my wife we need to go down there for like a long weekend or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it. Are there any parks around? I've never looked to see if there's any parks around that area.
I haven't looked either.
So maybe pull it up. Maybe there'd be a POTA or SOTA.
There's probably not a SOTA out there. I think all the SOTAs are out towards.
Having seen that map just now, I'm pretty sure no.
Yeah.
Texas is pretty bare. And our parks are few far between. Unlike northern east states, there's
England.
A park every 5 miles.
Mm-hmm. Every 5 meters.
Right.
Not jaded here.
Yeah. Do I need an epic beard to SOTA? No. Look at Charlie. He's clean shaven right now.
That's right.
So
epic beards just add DB.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually.
Yeah, that's right. So,
come on.
Well, cool. This was a great weekend. Thank you to everybody who joined us in the Kumospace and talked to us. Thank you to Charlie and Dan and Pat and you guys for being out there helping people inside of the room, and the other folks that you mentioned earlier too, Charlie. I thank them. I know it was Kyle and who else did you say?
Dan AI6XG and Jesse. from Canadian Ham Radio Rockies.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw him in there today. So, yeah. So special thanks to all those guys who did some sort of kind of like, I guess, SMEing in the as a questions and answer, the person giving the answers for SOTA and POTA inside of the room. That was good to see all the questions in there as well. Frank, do you have something?
Yes, I did. I found Fredericksburg on the POTA map, and there is a National Museum Park of War, Pacific War, and it is right in the downtown area of Fredericksburg.
See, I really, really like activating the historical monuments. Mm-hmm. We activated Kitty Hawk when we were in
this is
North Carolina. That's okay. Well, it's a POTA site, right?
It's a POTA site, but it's a monument. Okay. It's not a monument.
What historical site, whatever you want to call it. Kitty Hawk was also a museum, but it's a monument and everything. But and then the guys were talking about next time we should do Gettysburg, and I'm like, yes, we should do Gettysburg.
Gettysburg is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So activating those historicals. In fact, I told my wife, I was like, the last time I was in Pearl Harbor, I've only been to Pearl Harbor once, but that was prior to 2016. So it was before Parks on the Air existed. So I told my wife, I was like, honey, we got to go back to Hawaii.
So
I want to activate Pearl Harbor POTA.
We should split up at Gettysburg in two groups. Have all the Northerners go up to the north side, and the Southerners go to the south side of the park.
Think we're all south of the Mason-Dixon, except for yeah.
As long as to be historically accurate, you'd have to let the Northerners make more contacts so they could win the POTA. But I don't know how comfortable I am with that. So I don't know. No, it'd be fun.
That would be good.
We should look at that, Frank. We should look at doing that for Oktoberfest. That'd be a fun trip.
Yes.
As long as it's not during one of the other. Because there's something else we're doing in October. I can't remember what it is right now, but I'll have to look at my calendar and see.
Well, Oktoberfest is in September, before October.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it depends on, and it can be different weeks too. So I guess it depends on when they do it in Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
So, okay. We'll look at that. That might be a fun trip. All right. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining tonight. This was a good stream. I enjoy, thanks to Charlie, Dan, Pat, and yeah, thanks to Frank also, but Frank's always around. So, but special thanks to Charlie, Dan, and Pat for you guys. I had this idea like a week ago, and I thought, I should do that, and then I kind of forgot about it. And like this morning, I was like, I was going to ask the guys if they would come on and do like a wrap up thing. So thanks for the short notice for hopping on and being a part of the live stream. It was really fun, and look forward to doing it next time. So Charlie, we'll have to do another SOTA POTA thing in the room that we do in August. That'd be fun too, I think. Cool. So Charlie, tell me, what do you have coming up on your channel? Anything cool in the next week or two?
I'm still releasing Parks on the Air. I did an activation where I sat in there for a couple hours. I have 2 hours worth of video, so I had to divide it up into 4 videos. So those are still being released.
Yeah.
And then I'm just the Zygu or Zygu X6100. I'm going to do some stuff on that. It's coming up.
Cool. Good. Yeah, I'd be interested. I'll watch your 6100 videos because I've got one of those myself, and I'm going to do another one. And that thing interfaces really well with the Zygu amp. If you have that, you may not have that, but it does well with that too. So cool. Thanks for being here, Charlie. Pat, what's coming up on your channel next, man?
Well, I have a podcast now. It's called Operator of the Week Podcast. I just kind of shoot the breeze with operators. That's pretty much it. It's nothing special. Like, I don't like go into too much technical detail or anything. Just talk about their experience in ham radio. That's pretty much what I do.
You gotta. So that's just an audio. That's just an audio podcast. It's not on YouTube.
No, I actually do it live. I do it live here on YouTube Thursday evenings.
Okay.
I try to do it at 7. I have a family commitment right now for a couple of weeks, so I have to push it back to like 8:30. But generally at 7 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
And I'm trying to do more POTA stuff. I do live streams, but I'm trying to do like actual videos, showing like the places I'm going and some history behind it and that kind of stuff. So, and I'm also on TikTok. So if you do TikTok, I'm on there.
Yeah.
I show my radio for 15 seconds. And
right.
People see it.
those TikTok videos. My most popular TikTok video was Scott, KA5NPL, operating POTA at Huntsville, Texas State Park. And I just put the phone in front of him and I recorded him for like 59 seconds and I hit upload and now it's got like 150,000 views and I don't know why. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, he did a great job, but I'm just like, I've done this before. Why did this video out of all the ones I've done get picked up? I don't know, but
weird. I do the
yeah.
same thing with my
Yeah.
radios. I just show my radio for 15 seconds, get 20,000 views like 2
Right,
hours
yeah.
later. I'm like, okay.
Craziness.
I'll keep doing that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for being here, Pat. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Dan, do you have a channel or what do you do besides just play radio? Do you do anything like on outside the space of just being a ham radio operator?
No, I don't have a social media presence really for
Okay.
SOTA. I should, but really haven't as of yet. So I need to get busy and put some stuff up.
He's a co-host on our live stream we do every 2 weeks. So
Gotcha.
he's on
Yeah.
on there every 2 weeks with
On
us.
your live stream. So
Watch
Charlotte,
That's
yeah.
how it starts, man. I was a
I know.
co-host, and then I got suckered into a channel, and now I'm doing streams and videos. So
That's right. That's right.
It's
right.
how they get you
So-
in there.
Instagram is fun, Dan, because you can just put up still pictures of all your cool operating equipment. So that's what I enjoy doing.
That would probably
So
be
it's
more
good.
social media safe for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Well, thanks for being here. It was good to have you, Dan.
Thank you.
Okay, Frank, tell everybody what you're doing.
What I'm doing. This weekend, I sent out the first batch of coins. We are no longer.
I knew you were going to talk about
pre-order.
that.
So we're regular order of coins. Go ahead and order them now, and they'll be shipped within a week. I'm going to do them on the weekends, but the coin link is up on the website. Plus, I did a POTA, and I'm releasing audio podcasts now on any podcatcher app. I'm pretty much on every one. If I'm not on yours, let me know. I'm gonna see what I can do to fix it. And coming up Monday, I am going to go over all of my plans for my HF station. I am going to start with the hole in the wall I'm going to cut out and where the antenna is going to go and how I'm going to bond it to the house ground. It is going to be everywhere. And then you're going to in the comments and tell me what I'm talking about wrong. Nothing's planned yet in the Hearthstone, but this is just my plan. So that is going to be coming out on Monday.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I really do. I think that's a great idea. So yeah, I've got another Fang video that I'm releasing tomorrow. So
they always do well.
Fang videos are fun because everybody has something to say about them, and they get a lot of watch time. So
I actually have an idea.
It is what it is. So
I'm going to tell y'all after we're done.
All right.
But that's about it. So
Cool.
Jason, what's going on in your world?
Well, Ham Sci next weekend, as I said up front. I'll be recording that and putting all those videos on the channel. And then I'm hanging out in Huntsville, Alabama for a week, and I'm gonna do some cool stuff out there. Some Parks on the Air stuff. I don't know it. Charlie, you didn't go to the Huntsville Ham Fest last year, did you?
Regrettably, no. I get to do one a year, so I'm doing Dayton this year. You're
doing Dayton this year. Okay, good. So I don't know if Montesano State Park, which is on top of Montesano Mountain, is a summit or not. I'm gonna have to look that up and see. I think it is, because I think Adam did it last year, but he was the only one. The most of us were just doing POTA. So I have to look that up. So, but anyway, so I'll be there next week, and the following weekend, Gigaparts is having a Ham Radio Day event at their store in Huntsville, Alabama. So that's where I'll be for the next week and a half. So be watching for a lot of Parks on the Air videos and on the road. I'm gonna do some on the road videos, driving out there and that kind of thing. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a fun month. And then a week from today, I'm giving away those 2 QRP radios. So
nice.
Be sure to
let me
share
drop
that
link again.
Yeah, share that again. So yeah, thank you everybody in the chat who's still here. Thank you for
one last question. Go
ahead.
Those QRP radios. There was a question in the chat a while ago. Will you ship to Alaska?
Yes. Yeah, I saw him ask that. I thought he was joking, but
Sure.
Rodimus Prime was his name, and I remember that because I was a big Transformer nerd back in the day. But yes,
in disguise.
Yeah, I will ship to Alaska. Alaska's not a problem.
I thought it was COVID in disguise.
Right. So,
there you go.
That's good.
Well, demonetized. You're welcome, Jason.
Yeah. No, they stopped demonetizing for that a long time ago. So, all right, guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here. Thanks to everybody who we met over the weekend once again, and thanks to the 4 of you guys on the channel tonight. Y'all have a good weekend, and hang out in the Zoom for just a second. I'm going to do a closeout, and then actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to do an exit right here. So everybody wave goodbye.
Bye.
Later.